How to build a strong Christian family. My child, listen to my voice. I am the Lord your God, the one who formed you in your mother's womb, the one who called you by name before you ever took your first breath. I have designed the family to be a place of love, safety, and faith. But in this world, distractions, temptations, and struggles seek to tear families apart. I see the pain, the brokenness, the silent tears behind closed doors. But I am here, and I will show you how to build a strong Christian family that stands firm against the storms of life. A house built on the rock. There was once a man who built his house on the sand. When the winds came, when the storms raged, his house collapsed. But another man built his house upon the rock. The rain poured, the winds howled, but his house stood firm because it was built on a solid foundation. Matthew 7 verses 24 to 27. Your family must be built upon me. If you build on wealth, fame, or worldly success, it will not last. But if you build on my word, my truth, and my love, your home will be unshakable. The world may change, but I remain the same. Hebrews 13 verse 8. The power of a praying family. There is a mother who knelt by her child's bed every night, whispering prayers over him. She prayed for his heart to be pure, for his mind to be guarded, for his future to be blessed. Her prayers rose like incense before me, and I answered. Years later, when that child faced temptation, he heard my voice calling him back because of his mother's prayers. Never underestimate the power of prayer in your home. James 5 verse 16. Fathers, pray over your wives and children. Lead them with love, not harshness. Ephesians 6 verse 4. Mothers, teach your children about me, just as Lois and Eunice did with Timothy. 2 Timothy 1 verse 5. Children, honor your parents, for this is my command with a promise of long life. Exodus 20 verse 12. Fighting for your family. There was a father who watched his teenage daughter drift away. She stopped coming to church. She locked her door. She grew cold. One night, he fell to his knees, weeping, crying out to me for her soul. The battle was fierce, but he did not give up. And one day, she returned, broken but ready to be restored. My child, the enemy seeks to destroy families, but I call you to stand in the gap. Ezekiel 22 verse 30. You must fight for your family, not with anger, but with prayer, with patience, with love. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. Ephesians 5 verse 25. Wives, respect and support your husbands. Ephesians 5 verse 33. Parents, discipline with grace, not cruelty. Colossians 3 verse 21. The heart of forgiveness. There was a woman who carried deep wounds from her husband's words. She held onto resentment, and it poisoned her soul. But one day, she heard my voice say, "Forgive as I have forgiven you." She let go, and peace flooded her home. Colossians 3 verse 13. Forgiveness is the key to healing in your family. Do not let the sun go down on your anger. Ephesians 4 verse 26. When you forgive, you break the chains of bitterness and allow my love to flow freely in your home. Teaching your children my ways. A young boy watched his father wake up early every morning to read my word. He saw his mother kneel in prayer. He noticed how they loved each other, how they served others. That boy grew up to be a man of faith because he witnessed it in his home. Deuteronomy 6 verses 6 to 7. Your children will not learn about me by chance. You must teach them, speak my words when you sit at the table, when you walk along the road, when you tuck them in a bed. Show them that faith is not just something you do on Sundays, but a way of life. Proverbs 22 verse 6. A family that serves together. A family once decided to serve at a homeless shelter. They brought food, spoke kind words, and prayed for the brokenhearted. That night, as they sat at their own dinner table, they realized something. They had found joy. When a family serves together, their bond grows stronger, their hearts align with mine. Joshua 24 verse 15. Hope for the broken family. I see the families that are torn apart. I see the father who is left, the mother who is weary, the child who feels alone. But I am the God who restores. I bring beauty from ashes. Isaiah 61 verse 3. No matter how broken your family may be, I can heal, redeem, and make all things new. Call on me, and I will answer. Jeremiah 33 verse 3. My promise to you, if you build your family upon my word, if you pray together, if you love and forgive, if you serve and teach, your home will be filled with my presence. No storm will shake you, no trial will break you, because I am with you always. Matthew 28 verse 20. I have called you to lead your family in righteousness. Will you answer my call? Will you rise up and fight for your home? Will you trust me to build something strong and unshakable? I am the Lord your God, and I will never leave you nor forsake you. Your family is in my hands. Trust me, and I will make it flourish. My child, do you know how much I long for families to be strong, filled with love, peace, and my presence? I created the family as a reflection of my love for my people. But I see the struggles. I see the pain hidden behind forced smiles. I hear the silent cries of husbands and wives who feel distant, of parents who don't know how to reach their children, of children who feel unseen and unloved. But listen, my child, I am here. I am the God who restores, who binds up the brokenhearted, who breathes life into what seems dead. I will show you how to build a strong Christian family that stands the test of time. The battle for your family is real. A man once stood at the altar with his bride, vowing to love her forever. But as the years passed, distractions crept in, work, stress, the pressures of life. They stopped praying together. They stopped laughing together. Soon, they felt more like strangers than partners. One day, the wife whispered to me, "Lord, is there hope for us?" And I answered, "Yes, my child, there is always hope." The enemy is attacking families like never before. He wants to divide husbands and wives, parents and children. He wants to plant seeds of bitterness, selfishness, and unforgiveness. But I have called you to fight, not with anger, not with harsh words, but with love, prayer, and my truth. John 10 verse 10, Ephesians 6 verse 12. Your family is worth fighting for. Do not give up, even when it feels hopeless, even when your spouse is distant, even when your children rebel, even when you feel like you failed. I am the God of redemption. What seems impossible to you is possible for me. Luke 1 verse 37. A husband's role: lead with love. Husbands, listen to me. I have placed you as the spiritual leader of your home, not to rule with force, but to lead with love. Love your wife as Christ loved the church, sacrificially, unconditionally, with grace and patience. Ephesians 5 verse 25. There was once a husband who worked long hours, providing for his family, but barely spending time with them. His wife felt lonely. His children craved his attention. One night, he came home late and found his little daughter asleep on the couch, holding her Bible. A note beside her read, "Daddy, I prayed that Jesus would bring you home early so we can read together. His heart broke. That night, he made a decision to put his family above everything else. He turned off his phone, gathered his family, and prayed together for the first time in years. And from that moment, his home began to heal. A wife's role, a pillar of strength and wisdom. My daughter, I see your sacrifices. I see the nights you stay up, worrying over your children, praying for your husband, carrying burdens no one else sees. But I am with you. I will strengthen you. Proverbs 31 verse 25. A wise woman builds her home, but a foolish one tears it down. Proverbs 14 verse 1. Be a woman of wisdom, a woman of prayer. Your words have the power to bring life or destruction. Speak words of encouragement to your husband. Build him up, not tear him down. Proverbs 18 verse 21. There was once a wife who constantly criticized her husband. She pointed out his flaws, compared him to others, and slowly, he withdrew. One day, she cried out to me, "Lord, why is my marriage falling apart?" And I whispered, "My child, your words have wounded him. Speak life, not death." That day, she changed. She began to pray for him instead of criticize him. She encouraged him instead of complaining. And her marriage was restored. Children, a precious gift. My child, do you know that your children are not yours, but mine? I have entrusted them to you for a short time to teach, guide, and lead in my ways. Psalm 127 verse 3. There was a father who always told his son, "I'm too busy to play, too busy to listen, too busy to be present." One day, that boy grew up, and the father longed for a relationship with him. But the son had learned to be too busy. My child, do not wait until it's too late. Teach your children my ways while they are young. Be present. Pray with them. Read my word with them. Show them what it means to love me. Proverbs 22 verse 6. Children, listen to your parents. Honor them, for this brings my blessing. Ephesians 6 verses 1 to 3. Even when you don't understand their rules, trust that they love you. Do not follow the ways of the world, but hold on to my truth. Restoring broken families. I see the families that are falling apart. I see the mother who cries in secret because her marriage is breaking. I see the father who feels like he's lost his children. I see the child who feels unloved. But I am the God who restores. There was once a family on the brink of divorce. The parents fought constantly. The children felt lost. One day, in desperation, they fell to their knees together and prayed for the first time in years. That night, something changed. It was not instant, but I began to heal their hearts, to soften their words, to restore what was broken. My child, I can do the same for you. Joel 2 verse 25. Do not believe the lie that it is too late. My love is greater than any wound. My power is stronger than any brokenness. Come to me, and I will heal your family. Jeremiah 30 verse 17. The secret to a strong Christian family. My child, if you want a family that stands strong, this is the key. Put me at the center. Pray together daily. Read my word. Forgive quickly. Love deeply. Serve others. And trust me with all your heart. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6. The world will try to pull you apart, but if you hold on to me, nothing will break you. I will bless your home. I will protect your family, and I will fill your hearts with peace. My promise to you, if you seek me first, I will add everything else. Matthew 6 verse 33. If you trust me, I will direct your path. If you love and obey me, I will bless your family for generations to come. Deuteronomy 7 verse 9. So rise up, my child. Fight for your family with faith, love, and prayer. Do not give up. Do not lose hope. I am with you, and I will never leave you. Your family is my gift to you. Treasure it, protect it, and build it upon me, and I will make it unshakable. The war for your family. Do you not know that your family is in a battle? The enemy does not attack with swords or arrows, but with distractions, division, anger, and pride. He whispers lies into the hearts of husbands and wives, turning them against each other. He places temptations before fathers, drawing them away from their families. He fills the minds of mothers with worry, drowning them in exhaustion. He captures the hearts of children, pulling them away from my truth. But, my child, I have not called you to be defeated. I have called you to stand and fight. Ephesians 6 verses 12 to 13. A husband once loved his wife deeply, but over time, the weight of the world stole his joy. He no longer prayed for his family. He stopped listening to his wife's heart. His children began to fear him rather than love him. One day, his wife stood before me, tears in her eyes, and asked, "Lord, is there any hope for us?" And I said, "Yes, my daughter. There is always hope in me." What happened next changed everything. This man fell to his knees, repented, and asked me to lead his home. That night, for the first time in years, he gathered his family to pray. His wife wept in his arms. His children held his hands. And in that moment, healing began. My child, this can be your story too. Will you let me restore what has been broken? Joel 2 verses 25 to 26. A husband's role, leading with love, not pride. Husbands, listen to me. I have placed you as the spiritual leader of your home, not to rule with pride, but to serve with love. Ephesians 5 verses 25 to 28. Love your wife not as the world loves, but as I love, with patience, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment. There was a man who worked endlessly, believing that providing for his family meant giving them money. But his wife longed for his presence. His children craved his attention. One day, his little son asked him, "Daddy, how much money do I need to buy an hour at a time?" The father's heart broke. That night, he turned off his phone, held his wife's hand, and played with his children for the first time in years. And in that moment, he realized his family needed his love more than his wealth. Husbands, your words and actions shape your home. Love your wife. Hold her when she's weary. Pray over your children. Protect their hearts from the world. Lead them not in your own strength, but in mine. A wife's role, a light of wisdom and strength. My daughter, I see your tiredness. I see the nights you lay awake, praying for your family. I see the weight you carry. But I tell you, do not give up. I am your strength. Proverbs 31 verses 25 to 26. A wise woman once had a sharp tongue. She did not know that her words were cutting wounds into her husband's heart. She criticized him, compared him to others, and unknowingly pushed him away. One day, she cried out to me, "Lord, why is my marriage falling apart?" And I answered, "My daughter, your words hold power, life or death." Proverbs 18 verse 21. That day she changed. She spoke words of encouragement instead of complaint. She prayed for her husband instead of blaming him, and her home began to heal. Wives, be the voice of kindness in your home. Speak life, not destruction. Love your husband, even when he is distant. Serve your family with joy, and I will bless your home beyond measure. The role of parents, training up a child in my ways. Parents, your children are not just yours, they are mine. I have entrusted them to you to train, to love, to guide in my truth. Proverbs 22 verse 6. There was a mother who filled her child's life with sports, school, and entertainment, but she never once taught him how to pray. When the child grew older and faced hardships, he did not turn to me because he had never been taught. My child, do not let this be your story. Teach your children my ways. Pray with them, even when they resist. Read my word to them, even when they do not understand. The seeds you plant today will grow into faith tomorrow. Fathers, bless your children. Do not provoke them to anger, but raise them in love. Ephesians 6 verse 4. Mothers, be patient with your children. Show them my grace, even when they fail. Colossians 3 verse 21. Healing broken families. Some of you are listening with tears in your eyes because your family is broken. Your marriage is strained. Your children are lost. Your home feels cold. But listen to me. I am the God of restoration. What is impossible for man is possible for me. Luke 1 verse 37. A woman once came to me, brokenhearted. Her husband had left, her children rebelled, and she felt abandoned. But I whispered, my daughter, do not give up. Keep praying. Keep loving. I am working even when you do not see it. One night, after years of prayer, her lost son walked back through the door. Her husband called, saying he wanted to try again. My child, I could do the same for you. Trust me. Keep fighting for your family on your knees. The secret to a strong Christian family. The world will try to tear you apart, but if you build your home upon me, nothing can destroy it. Matthew 7 verses 24 to 25. The secret to a strong Christian family is simple. Put me first in everything. Matthew 6 verse 33. Pray together every day. 1 Thessalonians 5 verses 16 to 18. Forgive quickly. Colossians 3 verse 13. Speak love, not anger. Proverbs 15 verse 1. Stand firm against the enemy's attacks. James 4 verse 7. My promise to you, if you seek me, I will bless your family for generations. If you love me, I will protect your home. If you build your family on my truth, no storm can shake you. So rise up. Fight for your family with faith, love, and prayer. Do not give up. I am with you, and I will never leave you. My child, listen closely. Your family is a treasure, a sacred gift from me. Yet, the enemy has set his eyes upon it, seeking to divide, to destroy, to turn love into bitterness and peace into chaos. But I am the Lord your God, the one who holds all things together, the one who restores what is broken. If you will hear my voice today, I will show you the way to build a strong Christian family, one that stands firm against the storms of life, one that is rooted in my love, one that no force of darkness can shake. Stay with me until the end, for this message will change your home forever. A husband and wife once stood before me, promising to love each other through every trial, every joy, every season. But as time passed, they drifted. The laughter faded, the warmth grew cold, and soon they spoke to each other not with love, but with frustration and silence. They did not realize that they were not fighting each other. They were fighting an unseen enemy who sought to destroy what I had joined together. The husband turned away, burying himself in work, believing that providing for his family meant only putting food on the table. The wife, weary and unloved, allowed bitterness to take root in her heart. Their children watched in silence, longing for the love that once filled their home. But one day, in the midst of their brokenness, they fell to their knees. They called upon my name, and I answered, Husbands, love your wives as Christ loves the church. Do not be harsh with them. I did not give you a wife so that you could rule over her, but so that you could cherish her, protect her, and lead her in my ways. She is the one who stands by your side, the one who carries burdens you do not see, the one who prays for you when you are too weak to pray for yourself. Speak kindly to her. Hold her when she is weary. Listen to her heart, for she longs to be heard. When you lead your home with love, your family will flourish. Wives, respect your husbands, not as the world teaches, but as I have commanded. The world will tell you to compete with him, to fight for control, to belittle him when he fails. But I tell you, build him up with your words. Speak life into him when he is weary. Encourage him when he is discouraged. Your words have the power to bring healing or destruction. Choose wisely. A wise woman builds her home, but a foolish one tears it down with her own hands. Parents, your children are watching you. They see how you love, how you forgive, how you pray, how you trust in me. They will not learn to follow me through words alone, but through the life you live before them. Teach them my ways. Speak of my faithfulness. Show them how to seek me in prayer. If you do not teach them, the world will. If you do not fill their hearts with my truth, the enemy will fill it with lies. A father once thought that raising his child meant providing for their needs, but he did not realize that his child's greatest need was his love, his presence, his guidance in my word. One night, his child came to him and asked, "Daddy, do you love Jesus?" The question pierced his heart, for he had spent his life chasing the things of this world, but had never once shown his child how to chase after me. That night, everything changed. He gathered his family, opened my word, and for the first time, they prayed together. And in that moment, the foundation of their home was rebuilt upon me. The enemy will try to distract you, to pull you away from your family with busyness, with pride, with the pursuit of things that do not last. Do not be deceived. The greatest investment you will ever make is not in your career, your house, or your achievements. It is in the spiritual foundation of your family. Seek me first, and everything else will fall into place. Do not allow the world to dictate the values of your home. Let my word be the standard. Forgive quickly, for resentment is a poison that will destroy your home. Speak gently, for harsh words create wounds that may never heal. Pray together, for a family that prays together is a family that remains strong against every attack. Some of you are listening with tears in your eyes because your family is already broken. The walls of your home are filled with silence, with hurt, with years of wounds that have not yet healed. You wonder if it is too late, if what was lost can ever be restored. But my child, listen to me. I am the God of redemption. I restore what the enemy has stolen. I bring life where there was once only brokenness. Do not give up. I am working even when you do not see it. A mother once cried out to me for her lost son. He had turned away from everything she had taught him, running after the world, lost in sin. But she never stopped praying. Years passed, and she saw no change. But then, one night, in the depths of his despair, he remembered the prayers of his mother. He remembered the love she had shown him. And in that moment, he called upon my name. He returned home, not just to his mother, but to me. My child, your prayers are not in vain. Keep fighting for your family, not with anger, but on your knees. Keep loving, even when it is not returned. Keep trusting, even when the situation seems impossible. For I am the God who makes a way where there is no way. I will heal your home. I will restore your marriage. I will bring back the lost hearts of your children. But you must build your home upon me. The world will try to shake you. But if you stand upon my truth, nothing will move you. A strong Christian family is not one without struggles. It is one that overcomes them with faith. It is one that forgives, one that loves without condition, one that clings to me through every storm. If you trust in me, I will bless your family for generations. I will be your refuge, your strength, your ever-present help. I will surround your home with my protection, and no weapon formed against it shall prosper. My child, this is my promise to you. If you build your family upon my word, you will stand firm through every trial. Your home will be a place of peace, of joy, of my presence. Do not wait for tomorrow. Start today. Hold your spouse's hand and pray together. Gather your children and teach them my ways. Speak words of love. Choose forgiveness over bitterness. And above all, seek me first in everything. If you do this, I will bless your home beyond measure. I will make your family a light in the darkness. I will pour my favor upon you, and your children will rise and call you blessed. For I am the Lord your God, the one who holds your family in my hands. Trust me, and I will make your home unshakable. My child, listen to my voice. The world is filled with noise, distractions, and lies that seek to destroy the foundation of your home. But I am here. I am the one who created family. I am the one who placed love between a husband and wife, who filled a mother's heart with tenderness, who gave a father the strength to lead, who blessed children to be a gift and a heritage. Do not let the world redefine what I have created. Do not let the enemy steal what I have given. Your family is meant to be a reflection of my love, a stronghold of faith, a light that shines in the darkness. If you will listen, I will teach you how to build a family that cannot be shaken. A man once built his house upon the sand. He worked hard, making sure the walls were high and the rooms were beautiful. He was proud of his home, confident that it would last. But when the storms came, the wind tore through the walls and the rain washed away the foundation. The house collapsed and everything he worked for was lost. But another man built his house upon the rock. He dug deep, securing the foundation. His house did not look as grand at first, but when the storms came, it stood firm. His family found shelter within its walls, safe from the raging winds. My child, do you see? A strong family is not built on wealth, success, or appearances. It is built on me. If your home is built on my word, no storm will bring it down. Husbands, love your wives. Not just in the early days when love feels effortless, but in every season. Love her when she is weary. Love her when she feels unnoticed. Love her as Christ loves the church, sacrificially, patiently, unconditionally. Do not let pride close your heart. Do not let anger turn your words into weapons. Your wife is a gift. Treat her with honor, and I will bless your marriage. A man once neglected his wife, assuming she would always be there. He provided for her needs, but not for her heart. He did not see the silent tears, the loneliness creeping into her soul. But one day I opened his eyes. He saw the woman who had stood beside him, the one who had prayed for him, the one who had given her heart to him. He wept, and he changed. He began to cherish her, and love returned to their home. Wives, respect your husbands. Do not let your words tear him down. The world will tell you to fight for control, to speak with sharpness, to correct him at every turn. But I tell you, honor him, encourage him, pray for him. He carries burdens you do not see. Your words can strengthen him or break him. A wife once spent her days frustrated with her husband's shortcomings. She saw what he lacked, but not the weight he carried. But then she prayed. I softened her heart. She began to see him as I did. She spoke life into him, and he became the man she always longed for. Parents, your children are not burdens. They are blessings. Train them my ways. Teach them to pray, to trust me, to seek me first. If you do not fill their hearts with my truth, the world will fill it with lies. A father once worked tirelessly to give his children the best. Expensive gifts, a large home, endless opportunities. But his children longed for him, not his possessions. They needed his prayers, his presence, his guidance. When he realized this, he put down his phone, he set aside his work, and he led his children in prayer. That night, as they knelt together, his children felt my presence for the first time. That was the moment his home truly became strong. The enemy seeks to divide families. He plants seeds of resentment between husbands and wives, between parents and children. He whispers lies. You are better off apart. They will never change. It's too late to fix this. But I am the God of restoration. Was broken, I can heal. Was lost, I can restore. A family once stood on the edge of collapse. Harsh words had built walls between them. They no longer prayed together. But one night, the mother cried out to me. She asked for healing, and I moved. Hearts softened. Forgiveness was spoken. Love was rekindled. My child, if your family is hurting, do not give up. I am still working. Keep praying. Keep loving. Keep forgiving. Do not let the busyness of life steal your time together. The enemy will tempt you with distractions, work, entertainment, endless obligations. But what will it profit you to gain the whole world and lose your family? A man once chased success, believing he was securing a future for his loved ones. But in the process, he lost them. His wife felt alone. His children grew distant. But one day, he made a decision. He put me first. He chose his family over his career. And I blessed him beyond what he had ever imagined. My child, choose wisely. What you pour into your family today will echo for generations. A strong Christian family is not one without struggles. It is one that stands together through every storm. It is a family that prays together, forgives quickly, loves unconditionally, and trusts in me completely. Do not be discouraged by the challenges you face. I am with you. When you feel weak, I will be your strength. When you feel hopeless, I will remind you of my promises. I will never leave you, and I will never forsake you. If you build your family on my word, you will stand firm. Your home will be filled with my peace. Your children will grow in faith. Your marriage will be a testimony of my love. You will become a light in a world filled with darkness. The enemy will try to shake you, but he will not succeed. No weapon formed against your family will prosper, for I am the Lord your God, and I fight for you. Start today. Do not wait for tomorrow. Gather your family. Pray together. Speak words of life. Choose forgiveness over resentment. Choose love over pride. Choose me above all else, and I will bless you beyond measure. I will strengthen your home. I will pour my spirit upon you, and your children will rise and call you blessed. My child, listen closely, for this is my heart for you and your family. The world is filled with voices telling you what a family should be, but I am the one who created family. I am the one who placed love between a man and a woman, the one who gave parents the gift of children, the one who calls families to stand as a beacon of my love. The enemy seeks to tear down what I have built, to twist what I have designed, to turn your home into a battlefield of strife and division. But I'm calling you back to my design, to a family built on my word, a family rooted in faith, a family unshakable in the storms of life. A wise man once built his house upon the rock. He dug deep, laying a foundation that could not be moved. When the winds howled and the rain poured down, his house stood firm. But a foolish man built his house on the sand. He did not think of the foundation. He only cared for what looked beautiful on the surface. And when the storm came, his house crumbled. My child, your family is like that house. If you build on money, success, or temporary pleasures, the storms of life will tear it apart. But if you build on me, if you place me at the center of your home, nothing will be able to shake you. Husbands, I have called you to love your wives as Christ loves the church. This is not a love that fades when times are hard. It is a love that sacrifices, a love that fights for unity, a love that prays and protects. Do not let the burdens of life make you distant. Do not let frustration turn into coldness. She is your gift. Honor her, cherish her, and she will flourish under your love. There was a man who once took his wife for granted, speaking to her with impatience, too busy to see the pain in her eyes. But one day I softened his heart. He remembered the woman who had stood by him, who had prayed for him, who had given her life to walk beside him. That night, he took her hands and whispered, "Forgive me," and healing began. Wives, I have called you to respect your husbands, to be a source of encouragement, to stand beside him, lifting him in prayer. The world will tell you to control, to criticize, to tear down with your words. But I tell you this, your words hold power. You can build up or destroy. Speak life into your husband. Encourage him when he is weary. A wife once nagged and complained, never seeing the weight her husband carried. She expected him to lead, but never gave him the strength of her support. But one night, she wept before me, asking me to change her heart. And I did. She began to speak with kindness, to pray for him rather than criticize. And in time, the man she longed for emerged, strong and confident, ready to lead. Parents, the children I have given you are not a burden. They are a blessing. They are arrows in your hands, and you must point them toward me. Teach them to pray. Show them what it means to trust me. Let them see you walk in faith. If you do not teach them my ways, the world will teach them its lies. A father once worked tirelessly to provide everything his children could want. New clothes, expensive gifts, the best education. But his children longed for something more. They longed for his presence, his prayers, his wisdom. One night, he heard his son whisper, "I wish Dad would spend time with me." And his heart broke. That night, he turned off his phone, knelt beside his child, and for the first time, they prayed together. That was the night his family truly became strong. My child, do not let the distractions of life steal your time together. The enemy will use busyness to pull you apart, making you believe that your work, your ambitions, or your entertainment are more important than the people I have placed in your life. But what will it profit you to gain the whole world and lose your family? A man once chased after wealth, believing he was securing a future for his children. But in the process, he lost them. His wife grew lonely, his children distant. But one day he made a decision. He put me first. He chose to invest his time in his home. And I blessed him beyond what he had ever imagined. The enemy whispers lies into your home. You will never change. They don't love you. It's too late to fix this. But I am the God of restoration. What is broken, I can heal. What is lost, I can redeem. A family once stood on the edge of collapse, bitterness and anger growing like weeds between them. But one night, the mother cried out to me, asking for a miracle, and I moved. Hearts softened, tears flowed, forgiveness was given. and love return to their home. My child, do not give up on your family. Keep praying, keep loving, keep believing. I'm still at work. A strong Christian family is not perfect. It is not free from struggles. It is a family that chooses to stand together in faith, a family that forgives quickly, a family that loves deeply. It is a family that puts me at the center, trusting in my word, leaning on my strength. The storms will come, but I will be your shelter. The trials will rise, but I will be your peace. If you build your family on me, you will stand firm. Your home will be filled with my presence. Your children will grow in faith. Your marriage will be a testimony of my love. No weapon formed against your home will prosper, for I am your defender. Start today. Gather your family. Pray together. Speak words of life. Choose love over pride. Choose unity over division. Choose me above all else. And I will bless you beyond measure. I will pour my spirit upon you, and your children will rise and call you blessed. My child, listen to my voice. The world is filled with distractions, pulling you away from what truly matters. But I'm calling you back to the foundation I created. Your family is not an accident. I formed it with my own hands, and I desire for it to be strong, unshakable, filled with my presence. The enemy will do everything he can to divide you, to turn love into resentment, to replace joy with bitterness. He will whisper lies, convincing you that your marriage is failing, that your children are slipping away, that your home will never know peace. But I tell you this, what I have joined together, let no one separate. I am the God who restores, who heals, who strengthens. And if you trust me, I will build your home into a refuge of love, a fortress of faith, a light shining in the darkness. There was once a man who built his house on the sand. The walls were beautiful, the roof strong, the windows clear. But beneath it, the foundation was weak. When the storm came, the house collapsed and he lost everything. But another man built his house on the rock. He dug deep, making sure the foundation was secure. The wind howled, the rain fell, but his house stood firm. My child, your family is like that house. If you build on the shifting sands of money, success, or temporary pleasures, the storms of life will tear you apart. But if you build on me, if you make me the foundation of your home, nothing will shake you. Love is the cornerstone. It is not just a feeling that comes and goes. It is a choice, a commitment, an act of faith. The world has twisted love into something selfish, something temporary, something that fades when trials arise. But my love is not like that. My love endures all things, believes all things, hopes all things. My love never fails. And this is the love I have called you to build your home upon. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loves the church, not just in moments of joy, but in seasons of struggle. Love her when she is weary, when she feels unseen, when her heart is heavy. Cherish her, speak life into her, pray over her. There was once a man who took his wife for granted. He was busy, distracted, always chasing the next goal. He assumed she would always be there. But one day, I opened his eyes, and he saw the quiet tears she had hidden for so long. That night, he held her hand, and with a trembling voice, he said, "I am sorry." And in that moment, healing began. Wives, I have called you to be a light in your home, to be a source of strength, to stand beside your husband and lift him up in prayer. Do not let your words tear him down. The world will tell you to fight for control, to speak with sharpness, to criticize without mercy. But I tell you this, your words have power. You can build or destroy. You can strengthen or weaken. A wife once spent her days pointing out everything her husband lacked. She saw his failures, but not his efforts. She demanded leadership, but never encouraged him to lead. But one night, she cried out to me, and I softened her heart. She chose to see him through my eyes. She began to speak with kindness, to pray instead of complain, to encourage instead of tear down. And over time, the man she had longed for emerged, strong, confident, ready to lead. Parents, I have placed children in your care not as burdens, but as blessings. They are arrows in your hands, and you must point them toward me. If you do not teach them my ways, the world will teach them its lies. Do not be so caught up in providing for them that you forget to guide them. A father once believed he was giving his children the best: new clothes, expensive gifts, endless opportunities. But one night, as he stood outside his son's room, he heard a whisper, "I just wish Dad would spend time with me." And his heart broke. That night, he knelt beside his child, and for the first time, they prayed together. That was the moment his family truly became strong. Do not let the enemy steal your time. He will use busyness, distractions, and ambitions to pull you apart. He will whisper that there is always tomorrow, always another chance, always more time. But time is slipping away. The moments you waste now will never return. What will it profit you to gain the whole world and lose the hearts of those I have given you? A man once chased success, believing he was securing a future for his family. But in the process, he lost them. His wife grew distant. His children no longer looked up to him. But one day he made a decision. He put me first. He chose to invest in what truly mattered. And I restored what had been broken. Forgive quickly. Love deeply. Pray without ceasing. The enemy wants division in your home, but I have called you to unity. He will try to plant bitterness in your heart, to turn small offenses into walls of separation. But love keeps no record of wrongs. Love chooses grace. Love chooses restoration. A family once stood on the edge of destruction. Harsh words had built barriers. Wounds had gone unhealed. But one night, the mother fell to her knees and prayed, "Lord, bring us back together." And I moved. Hearts softened. Tears flowed. Forgiveness was given. And love was reborn in that home. Your family will not be perfect. There will be struggles. There will be trials. There will be moments of pain. But I will be with you. When the storms come, I will be your shelter. When you feel weak, I will be your strength. When you feel hopeless, I will remind you of my promises. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. The world will tell you that family is whatever you make it, that love is temporary, that commitment is optional. But I'm the one who created family. I designed it with my own hands. I breathed life into it, and I desire for it to be strong, unshakable, and filled with my presence. The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. He will do everything he can to break your home apart, whispering lies, planting seeds of division, turning love into resentment. But I tell you today, if you build your family on me, nothing will tear it down. A wise man once built his house upon the rock. He dug deep, securing the foundation so that when the storms came, his house stood firm. But another built on the sand, caring only for what looked good on the surface. And when the rain fell, his house crumbled. My child, your family is like that house. If you build it on wealth, success, or temporary pleasures, the storms of life will shake it apart. But if you build on my word, on my love, on faith in me, no storm will be able to move you. Love is the foundation. Not the love the world speaks of, selfish, fleeting, conditional, but the love I have shown you. My love is patient, kind, steadfast. My love never fails. And I have called you to love in the same way. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loves the church. Not just in the good times, but in the struggles. Not just when she is joyful, but when she is weary. Cherish her, protect her, speak life into her. There was a man who spent his days providing, working, chasing success, believing that was enough. But one day, he noticed the sadness in his wife's eyes. She longed for his presence, his prayers, his love. That night, he took her hands, looked in her eyes, and whispered, "I love you. I see you. I will do better." And healing began. Wives, I have called you to be a light in your home. The world will tell you to fight for control, to criticize, to tear down with your words. But I tell you, your words have power. You can build your husband up, or you can break him down. There was a woman who spoke harshly to her husband, always pointing out his faults, never seeing his efforts. But one night, she prayed, "Lord, change my heart." And I did. She began to speak with kindness, to encourage, to pray for him. And soon, the man she had longed for emerged, strong, confident, a leader in his home. Parents, your children are my gift to you. They are not a burden. They are a blessing. They are arrows in your hands, and you must point them toward me. Teach them to pray. Show them what it means to walk in faith. If you do not, the world will teach them its lies. A father once gave his children everything they wanted: new clothes, the best education, expensive gifts. But one day his son said, "Dad, I just want to spend time with you." And his heart broke. That night, he turned off his phone, sat beside his son, and prayed with him for the first time. That was the night his family truly became strong. Do not let the enemy steal your time. He will fill your days with distractions, convincing you that your work, your ambitions, or your entertainment are more important than your family. But time is slipping away. What will it profit you to gain the whole world and lose the hearts of those I have placed in your life? A man once chased success, believing he was securing a future for his children. But in the process, he lost them. His wife felt alone. His children grew distant. But one day he made a choice. He put me first. He chose to invest his time in his home, and I restored what had been broken. Forgive quickly. Love deeply. Pray without ceasing. The enemy wants division in your home, but I have called you to unity. He will try to plant bitterness, to turn small offenses into walls between you. But love keeps no record of wrongs. A family once stood on the edge of breaking apart. Words had become weapons, silence had become a prison. But one night, the mother fell to her knees and prayed, "Lord, heal us." And I moved. Hearts softened, tears flowed, forgiveness was given, and love was reborn in that home. Your family will not be perfect. There will be struggles, moments of pain, and trials that test your faith. But I will be with you. When the storms come, I will be your shelter. When you feel weak, I will be your strength. When you feel hopeless, I will remind you of my promises. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. If you build your family on me, you will stand firm. Your home will be filled with my presence. Your marriage will be a testimony of my love. Your children will walk in faith. No weapon formed against you will prosper, for I am your defender. Start today. Gather your family. Pray together. Speak life. Choose love over pride. Choose unity over division. Choose me above all else. And I will bless you beyond measure. I will pour my spirit upon you, and your children will rise and call you blessed. My beloved child, listen to my voice. The world will tell you that family is just another part of life that can be shaped by culture, by desires, by the trends of the times. But I tell you this, family is my creation. I designed it, I breathed life into it, and I desire for it to be strong, unshakable, and filled with my presence. The enemy has waged war against families because he knows that a house divided cannot stand. He will do everything in his power to break your home apart, planting seeds of division, turning love into bitterness, distracting you with the cares of this world until you forget what truly matters. But I'm calling you back. I am calling you to build your family upon me, to stand firm in the storm, to resist the enemy and hold on to the love I have given you. A house that is built on sand may look strong for a season. It may seem unshakable when the sun is shining and the skies are clear. But when the storm comes, when the winds rise and the rain falls, that house will crumble. My child, your family is like that house. If you build your home on money, success, comfort, or fleeting happiness, it will not last. The storms of life will come, and without me as your foundation, everything will fall apart. But if you build upon me, the solid rock, no storm will be able to move you. The winds may blow, the rain may pour, but your house will stand, because I am your foundation, your strength, your shield. Love is the first stone in the foundation of a strong home. Not the love the world speaks of, selfish, temporary, conditional, but my love, the love that is patient and kind, the love that endures all things and never fails. This is the love I have given you, and this is the love I call you to build your family upon. Husbands, I have commanded you to love your wives as Christ loves the church. This is not a love of mere words or empty gestures. It is a love that sacrifices, that protects, that uplifts. Love her not only in the moments of joy, but in the seasons of struggle. Love her when she is strong, and love her when she is weary. Speak life into her. Pray over her. Cherish her. There was once a man who thought his role was only to provide, to work hard, to put food on the table and clothes on his family's back. But he neglected the greatest calling I gave him, to love his wife as I love my people. One day, he saw the quiet sadness in her eyes, the weight she carried alone. And in that moment, his heart softened. That night, he knelt beside her, took her hands, and said, I love you. I see you. I am here. And healing began. Wives, I have called you to be a light in your home, to be a pillar of strength, to stand beside your husband and lift him up in prayer. The world will tell you to fight for control, to demand, to speak with harshness. But I tell you this, your words have power. You can tear down or you can build up. There was once a woman who spoke only of her husband's failures, who pointed out his flaws and never his efforts. She prayed for change, but never encouraged him to lead. But one night, she cried out to me, and I softened her heart. She chose to see him through my eyes. She began to speak with kindness, to pray instead of complain, to uplift instead of criticize. And over time, the man she longed for emerged, strong, confident, leading his home in faith. Parents, I have entrusted you with my most precious gift, your children. They are not a burden. They are not a mistake. They are not an inconvenience. They are arrows in your hands, and you must point them toward me. If you do not teach them my ways, the world will teach them its lies. Train them up in the way they should go, and when they are old, they will not depart from it. A father once believed he was giving his children everything they needed. New clothes, the best schools, every comfort he never had. But one night, as he walked past his son's bedroom, he heard the words, "I just wish Dad would spend time with me." And his heart broke. That night, he knelt beside his child, put his hand on his head, and for the first time, they prayed together. And that was the moment his family truly became strong. Do not let the enemy steal your time. He will use busyness, distractions, ambitions, and even good intentions to pull you away from what truly matters. He will whisper that there is always tomorrow, always another chance, always more time. But time is slipping away. What will it profit you to gain the whole world and lose the hearts of those I have placed in your care? There was a man who chased success, believing he was securing a future for his family. But in the process, he lost them. His wife grew distant. His children stopped looking up to him. But one day he made a decision. He put me first. He chose to invest in what truly mattered. And I restored what had been broken. Forgive quickly. Love deeply. Pray without ceasing. The enemy wants division in your home, but I have called you to unity. He will try to plant bitterness in your heart, to turn small offenses into walls of separation. But love keeps no record of wrongs. Love chooses grace. Love chooses restoration. A family once stood on the edge of destruction. Harsh words had built walls. Wounds had gone unhealed. But one night, the mother fell to her knees and prayed, "Lord, bring us back together." And I moved. Hearts softened, tears flowed, forgiveness was given, and love was reborn in that home. Your family will not be perfect. There will be struggles, there will be trials, there will be moments of pain. But I will be with you. When the storms come, I will be your shelter. When you feel weak, I will be your strength. When you feel hopeless, I will remind you of my promises. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you.